Once your view is made, then you'll add stuff to it. Since I'm going to do an architectural one here, let me do that. I'll put in some good heavy partition walls, I think. Um, come up 10 feet or so there. The Here we go. Back here a little ways, here a little way. Makes it pretty easy. A little wall down here. So now I've got a control room. I've got a music room, and then I've got a good size storage room or secondary use room. I'll put in some doors. I won't be too fancy with them. Here we go. That one come out that way. That one come in that way. Probably some sort of a that can go there, and then one more door. Now I've done something that sort of makes some sort of sense. Somebody can get to just about everywhere through here. Might have a pocket door or something over here. Get to the control room from this side. But this reason I put that there is I want a window. Probably a 4-foot window. But it definitely needs to be wider than that. Control rooms usually have pretty wide windows. So I'll duplicate and I'll make this something like an 8-foot window or something like that. With the, there we go. And so just to give you an idea, right? So I've got that. So I've got my walls. That's good. We'll talk about more about how to dimension those views and things like that later. Okay, but that should also show up in my first floor plan, second floor plan. So those are all that showed up in there. So that's kind of a cool thing. Now on my plan view, I said please make sure that we've got the major walls. So here's my and I'll have to see how big I want this to be. But for right now, 1/4 inch equals a foot sounds okay. And we usually do major walls in one line and then an overall in another line. You would do something like that. And here again, that's to a wall. Wall to wall, wall, and then an overall. So that's a very typical method of doing these. And that's on my annotate tab. And I'm not really critical about how you've done this. That's a different class. Just to show that you've got the idea that you'll be putting some dimensions on this. I do have an overall already over here, so that's okay. Now, I can go to my midline of my door. That's commonly done. And then maybe to the wall, wall, and wall. There. So that would be typical of what your floor plan would look like. And now we need a space plan. To do a space plan, we're going to go to the Analyze. And I'll put, now I have to remember, I think they're spaces. Architectural rooms, yeah, for building performance analysis. I don't remember if I need a space or space naming, but let me just click, and I'll get a space tag. Tags are under English Imperial Annotations. And area tag could be an area tag. Let's see if there's a space tag in here. Architectural. I'll have to go find where to put where my tags are. Area tag, tag. Now I don't know where my space tags are. Should be in here somewhere. Civil, structural, pipe, area tag. Maybe it's an area tag. Oh, there it is, room tag. That's what I want. Yes, so now I can have my main area, my second area, my third area, fourth, and my fifth area. And then if I go and click on that, this I can give it a name. In here somewhere. There it is. Number 1. And that one is my live sound. This one becomes my recording booth. This one becomes my and then this becomes my lobby. And this one is also sort of a lobby. Now I've got all those there. Kind of cool. Okay. And then I can put in, I think, color fill legend. I save my project. Put a color fill legend into. I don't know why that's spaces. Yes. Go. And that's got my spaces set. Isn't that the coolest thing? Okay, so that works for interior people and for space plan people, and it's this one here, color fill legend. And you can change these colors as you wish to go into here and edit the color scheme and fix these all up as you wish. But for what we're going to do, this is fine. And then we can annotate. I think it's tag by category. Walls. There we go. I'll figure out how to put those tags in for you, so that we can get those spaces. So there's a way to do that one too. Although they're already listed over here, right? So actually, I don't need to do that because they're they're listed by color code. Never mind. Got it. Okay. Over here, if you want to, you can also do a tag by category if you can pick up on it. Okay. If you want to tag one of these, you can do so. You can add a room tag. Not too concerned with that. I'd really rather just have you have a nice, clean, dimensional and a nice, clean space plan. Now, if you're doing a little bit more that's of interior design, okay, you might want to add something like a piano in here. So I'm going to go to Insert, Load a Family, and I can look in here under things like furniture. There's a piano, carpet, television, waste baskets, tables, storage, seating, beds. So there's some stuff in here. I'll go ahead and put in a piano. So I'm going to load that piano. And it shows up down here under families, called a family. And I saw that in furniture. There it is, piano. And it loaded a couple of different types. I'll drag this in. Oh, and there it is. And maybe the piano is going to sit right there. Now I've got a piano in my building. So for you interior designers, you can start putting these in. Now, of course, they're going to show up everywhere in mine. So if you shows up and you don't want it to show up, highlight, right click, hide in view that element. So now it does not show here, but it does show here. So that's a little bit, you have to go through and hide things like that. But there we go. Okay. Some people just as an extra do like to put room separators in. Go back to my analyze. I could put in room separators here. So that they show with some lines. I don't know that you need that, but if it makes your visualization look better, you can do that. Okay, space separate. Now it's a little bit more clear of which separators are which. Okay, and so there's a rectangle, and I could make a rectangle. Okay, so there's one more little thing for you to do if you feel like it, if you like the look of that a little better. So there you go. That's a little bit about what you want to do. Now, for those of you who are going to be working on landscape, the hardscape I've got to show you separately. But again, you can go to massing and site and load some site components. There's a bunch of bushes and trees and things like that. And if that's not enough, you can load a family and go to planting. We don't have a lot in there, but we do have some shrubs and things like that. You are welcome to go online and look for them that you can download. And then you just drag them into your project and you will find them in families. You just have to look under the right category. If I looked under planting, you'll see what's already in there. I've got all these in there already for shrubs, all these in here for trees. So for your planting, you've got a lot of it. So that's the majority of it. There's one other thing that's called a sub-region. If you just want it to look like something, that's sort of like hatch. So you can make a sub-region. I'll just make one right here as an example. And then you have to pick the material that you want it to look like. There's a sub-region, and let me make it look like not in there. Let me make it look like materials. All here we go. So I don't have a ton in here. I might have to load some if I need to. Might have some extras that I can find, or I can make a new one if I want. Let me look at what else might be in here. Metal, ceramic, concrete. Not a lot in here. Let's see what's under miscellaneous. In much there. Concrete in miscellaneous. Not a lot. So you can load some into here though. You can actually get some wood and things like that. So if you need to do some hardscape, you can do that, or you can also make it. Gonna get out of that. The other way you can do it is annotate with a region. Again, you can make your shape. And then you can find all sorts of different things that you can crosshatch and fill and do things. And if you want to, you can edit the type and make a new one. And you can go and look at all the different types of hatching you can use. And you can add new hatching too, if you want. So you could, diagonal crosshatch. Check. And now you've got something that you can load and put a key to that says everything that looks like that is that. So there, that was a whole bunch because I covered all 3 of the different topics. You can look at your own version of the topic and just do something that sort of gives somebody an idea.